Welcome to this autumn Vata practice. Starting on all fours, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, and start to make some gentle movement of the spine, maybe some cat-cows, or moving the pelvis in circles, just to lubricate the spine, the hips, the shoulders. Do what feels good. Now take the knees as wide as your mat, big toes to touch. And let's do some moving child's pose. Coming up on the inhale and exhale, push into the heels of hands as you drop the hips bottom to the heels. Just moving with your breath, maybe exhaling as you come back, inhaling as you come up. And then pausing in child's pose just to ground you, maybe forehead to mat or maybe on a block. Take some deep breaths here, really fill your lungs, front of the lungs, back of the lungs, sides of the lungs. And then slowly come up. Let's start to open out the hips in some hip circles. Rotating that left knee and shin, lubricating that left hip socket joint. And the other side. Breathing as you rotate the leg. And notice which hip feels better or stiffer, tighter. Then let's do some half malasanas. So really pushing back as you open out one hip. Maybe exhaling as you push back. One more on each side. You don't have to come down as low as me. You can just do tiny little movements just to open out your hips and inner thighs and groins. Then coming into a little inversion, either puppy dog pose, forehead to mat or a block, or coming into that familiar downward facing dog. Aim to really straighten those arms, head heavy. The legs can be really bent here, tailbone lifts, and start to pedal out the legs, bending one leg and stretching the other. Opening out the backs of your legs, the thighs, the calves. And then either keeping hands on the floor or grabbing your blocks. Placing hands on your blocks, take a little walk nice and slowly up to the top of your mat. Take your time. Let's practice some half forward bends and forward folds. But first, let's shake out any restlessness. Shake out the hands, the head, and then push hands into the floor or the blocks. Come up halfway, inhale, and exhale, come into that forward fold as deep as you like. Maybe keep the legs bent or straight, depending on how they feel. Exhale and fold. Inhaling and exhaling. Drop the head. And then inhale, come up into a chair pose. So good for grounding. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Exhale, come up slightly. And as you take an exhale out, let the hips sink deeper. Just balancing here and back into a forward fold. Step the left foot back and come into a low lunge. And then Ardha Hanumasana, just stretching out that right leg. Inhale into the lunge, exhale into that hamstring stretch. And let's swap sides. Right leg back, knee gently to the floor. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, open. Good. Step back to the top of the mat. And bring yourself up into upward mountain. Nice big deep breath here. Hands to the heart. And shake out the hips, shake out the legs. Give yourself a little shimmy. And step out nice and wide. Feet wide, big toes in a nice straight line. Roll the shoulders up, back and down to open your chest. Turn your right foot out, come into Warrior Two. So nice and strong and grounded through those legs. Inhale, push into the feet and stretch up. Exhale back into Warrior Two. Just moving between these two poses. Finding the strength and stability through your legs and the length in your spine as you reach up. Let's just reverse that warrior, maybe holding the head. This can help soothe our nervous system. Straighten the leg in a reverse triangle. Take the arms out and moving into triangle pose. Up, reverse it. So again, the legs are strong and steady, and the arms can be really fluid and soft. And let's shift over to the other side. Now let's bend and straighten one leg at a time here. And we're flowing down, maybe using your blocks if you need extra support for your lower back, into a little Skandasana pose. Making our way all the way down into a deeper forward fold. So the upper body is really supple, but the legs again are nice and strong. Coming into a wide forward bend, maybe take support with some blocks, 1 or 2. Or if you prefer, not at all, and let the head just hang. Bringing blood flow to the brain. Excellent for concentration, brain fog. Let the head be heavy here. And finding your way up and back into Warrior 2 on that left side. Again, feel strong through the legs, soften the shoulders. Inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale into Warrior 2. Inhaling and exhaling. Find your pace. Don't necessarily have to follow mine. And then reach back, side bend into side warrior. Nice deep breath, straighten that left leg. And arms out and moving triangle. Again, moving with your breath. Allow the breath to move your body. Pushing down firmly into the feet. Grounding, stabilising. And then taking the feet out about 45 degrees, coming into goddess pose. Into that squat, bend the arms. Now 5-pointed star, inhale, make yourself big. Exhale into goddess. And again, inhale, strong, exhale. And then to end, just bringing the feet back to hip width and finding Yoni Mudra with the fingers over your pelvis, just to nourish and nurture the pelvic and reproductive organs, just working with that downward flow of energy, Apana Vayu, breathing deeply here. I am grounded, I am stable, I am supported. Repeat again if you need to. Bring your hands into prayer. Thank you so much for joining me.